All right, with the thunder and rain continuing, I'm going to press on with my thoughts from Tumor Town just because I'm here and I want to try to get as far as I can today. So, 1995, 96, right in there. We're just about done with building my father in law's house. That's almost a wrapped up deal. That's getting finished. I've done all my stuff with Eddie. There's really nothing left there. I have no other video work sitting on my plate. So I'm thinking that, I have everything I need to try and go get a general contractor's license and go out and start trying to flip houses, right? The only thing I don't have is the financial backing to do so. Um, don't know whether I ever really would have got it if I'd have gone that route. Don't know. Maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't. I don't think, I know for a fact my father wouldn't have done it. My mother didn't have the money. I don't know if my father-in-law would have ever gotten off his butt to let me do it. Don't know. Or if I might have found somebody else. Who knows? But that was where I was heading. That's what I was moving towards. And then I got a call from a guy at a company called LMG. They're a local house that started as a video equipment rental house. And Les, the guy who owns it, grew it very nicely. And he saw the corporate event and meeting industry blossom when very few did. I mean, believe it or not, I got some gigs in the 90s from them, but I basically turned them over to other people and then actually turned them over to Les because I looked down my nose at them, right? These were corporate meetings, right? Not like a video. And I'm like, I make videos. I don't do this. I was stupid. Again, another, naivete, whatever. I could have jumped into that market and perhaps made a hell of a lot more of a name for myself than I did and made a lot more money. But I was arrogant and I missed the boat. So I get this call anyway. And they say, hey, we have a gig. We could use somebody to direct the entertainment tonight, the cameras. Would you be interested? And I'm like, oh, sure, paid good money. So I went down and I did it. It was an easy gig. Guys were there that I had known for years because, they were the guys that I would go and hook up with the rent gear that I would use, right? So they knew me, I knew them, whatever. And so that was fine. A couple days later, I get another call. I got another gig. You want to do that? And then another gig, then another gig, then another gig. And before I know it, I'm getting all these gigs. And I'm like, well, okay. To heck with becoming a GC. I guess I'm back in the video business. As bizarre as it was. Not a part of the industry I expected. Corporate meeting and event. But, whatever. Man, if you don't understand what I'm saying, corporate meeting event is, you have a company and they're going to do a big, sales meeting, whatever. Bring all the salespeople together and whoop them up. Well, they go into this big ballroom in a hotel and there's, curtains and drape and lights and sound and a stage and video screens and all this stuff, right? Excuse me. And they watch a show as the company puts on a big dog and pony show about all these things, about why they should be so excited and so great about the company. And I would have been one of the technicians they would have hired to put all that stuff together and make it work, run it, and then take it all down and get rid of it when the meeting was over. It's kind of like being a rock and roll roadie, except you're doing it for the corporate boys and for their shows rather than a rock and roll show. Same basic thing. I'm so sorry. So there I was. Before I knew it, I was doing those gigs, and then I started getting calls from companies all over the country that I didn't even know. And before you know it, boom, I'm working basically full-time in that industry. I was doing work as a camera guy, and then I started doing work as a breakout tech. Then I started doing work as a engineer, then as a video switcher, director, you know, anything and everything. And the guys in Orlando, you know, particularly my brother-in-law Matt, and the guys who were, you know, at LMG, you know. Sorry, there may be an edit there for a big cough. The guys at LMG, as I said, and all the other dudes that I was working with, all made me feel really welcome, really supported me, and helped me learn everything really quick and get things going. And, you know, I couldn't ask for a better situation to fall into. And on show site, they were just funnier than all get out. They would make me pee in my pants. I mean, they were just funny. Drop dead, kill you, funny. I mean, it don't get funnier than that. So, you know, I can't say enough about those guys. And that's where it kind of took off. And at one point, somebody figured out that I used to make videos. I think it was in LMG. I think it was John. And, you know, got the word out. And so I started doing what were called candids, which would mean I would go and video document the meeting and edit a little music video together they would show at the end of the meeting so all the attendees could see all the things they did and how much fun they had. And it was weird because, you know, here we had come kind of full circle, you know, to me making little videos again. And that went on, and that was a nice little sidebar, you know, to make the extra money. And as that went on, you know, I've got involved with a line and I started doing videos for their meetings, you know, opening videos, profile videos, stuff like that. And so I got more back into kind of doing, you know, producing, directing, writing, you know, shooting and editing videos. And that was really nice. And I still do a little bit of that to this day. I only edit now because with my illness, I really can't do much else. But I still do that. And that's kind of where we've come to. I've been doing that same work for all these years now, since about 95, 96. I work with the same group of fellas. We're called the Pirates. And we've all been together an awfully long time. So it's always a pleasure when you do a show with them because everybody knows their job, everybody knows their responsibility, and everybody's there for the other guy. So if you need help, all you have to do is ask, you know. And we're just a smooth little machine. And you got to give John credit for that because the way it worked out is John was an LMG employee. He, along with Carl and Marty, they all left, went freelance. And John ended up starting a company and buying gear and, you know, competing directly with LMG. None of the rest of us did, but John did. And so at the beginning, I ended up with my company, and I said, look, let's just team together. You know, we'll do everything under your banner. I'll give you some of my action on my gigs with my clients and to cover your insurance and whatnot, rather than both of us having insurance and doing the whole bailiwick. So we've been together in a partnership like that, basically, ever since. And John has been a wonderful friend to me and colleague throughout all these years. And I wouldn't be where I am today without him. I wouldn't be half the technician I am without him. And he makes me laugh. When he has a schism, he makes me laugh. You know. But, you know, Carl and Marty, God bless them, I love them. You know, spent a lot of time on shows with those two fellas. And you can't find sweeter human beings on the face of the earth. And, you know, we spent a lot of time together. So that's kind of where things end up. There's one other thing I'll say about this part of my career, but I'll get into that in one last video, and then we'll go from there. So for now, peace and hang 10.